So I just dropped my kids off at school, and a normal person would go to work, but I'm not a normal person. Instead, I thought I'd spend the day searching for the various covers of ABACAB. I only have this one, and there's 4 of them. I'm not quite sure the backstory of it, but I really do like this artwork. I'm not overly crazy about the record, but it's growing on me, but I really do like the artwork. I'm a fan of like abstract minimalism. It kind of reminds me of Matisse. Like the torn pieces of paper of Matisse. I wonder if that was an inspiration at all. That'd be kind of cool. So there's a bluish gray one that I need to get. There's a yellow one that I need to get. And then there's kind of a peachier one that I'd like to get. So we're gonna hit up some record stores, some flea markets, see if we can get all 4. Now would be a good time for me to ask you to join our Patreon so that I don't have to get a real job. Okay, a couple years ago, I was at this antique store in town, and they had a bunch of records, and they were nice records, mostly Elvis Presley, but I did see a gray and blue copy of ABACAB. So I didn't get it at the time. It was $10. Let's go back and see if we can find it. Okay, this is a cool little shop here, and some nice little furniture. Always love to see electronics. It takes me back. I used to have one of those too, those little mixers. All right, let's take a look around, and I see some scores already. This is funny how quickly, some mic as well. 3 sides live, and then get this, we find what we're looking for right off the hop, and more. But we already have the peach, so we don't, oh no, actually I don't have the peach. I have this one. Okay, so here's the issue. There's 3, I'm only gonna take 1. Okay, so the first store I went to had 3 ABACABs. Now one of them was one I already had, the red one, and then I got the blue one, the gray one. I left the peach one because that's cheating. Can't have this video be over in like 30 seconds. So, but that was kind of funny. That was super weird. Also got a cool jazz record. All right, next up, I'm gonna stop by a thrift store. I passed by it, and you never know. Some thrift stores are okay. These kind of more like chain ones are not great. They're often, when they have records, they get rid of anything that's offensive because it's a bunch of old ladies here. So it's kids records, Christmas records, and classical. So you're never gonna find a Genesis here, or Phil Collins even, maybe Buster if you're lucky. You're probably not gonna find anything good here. So I honestly flipped really quickly when I got the sense that it was just Bill Crosby records, Bill Cosby and Bing Crosby. I was like, let's bounce. But it was nearby where I was gonna be anyway, so it didn't hurt to check. So Darren, who is one of the members in our Patreon, he messaged me and said, now he actually lives close to me, which is kind of cool. And he let me know that he bought me a record. And so I'm gonna go down to our local record store here and see what it is. I think it's a Genesis record. I'm excited. And while I'm there, we'll see if they have some ABACABs. Big thanks to our buddy Darren. This is such a treat. And this is a store that has incredible Genesis records at all the time. And Peter, look at all this cool stuff and some of the new kind of semi-legit live records that are happening right now. Very interesting, like this one here, the Lost Radio Recordings, which came out last year. The Windy Cities, I haven't heard those yet. That'll be cool. It's some like new, this is all new Genesis here. So very pricey because it's kind of rare, and it's they're good quality. I always like to check the new arrivals and check the G section. This is one of those record stores, I don't know if you found this, but if you're looking for Steve Hackett or Mike and the Mechanics, I should have grabbed that actually. Oh, this is a big score. This is one of those record stores where they keep most of these records in the Genesis section, which is kind of helpful. Here's some like old mixtapes, which is cool. Look at Small Creeps Day. This was $2. I should have grabbed that. That's cool. Like, this is from his personal collection. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, next stop. I've been here before. I know that there was a copy of ABACAB. So let's stop at this antique place, outdoor place. And the last time I was here, I saw a copy of the peach one. So that's what we're looking for. Orangey peach. You can say orange. I'll say peach. This was a nice little $10 bin. That's kind of my budget for ABACABs, right? There's such a dime a dozen. I really, for this game, I don't want to spend more than $10. I don't need 4 copies of ABACAB. And I don't even have like a new version of ABACAB. There we go. I like that. I like this one. This is a cool color, and this is in pretty good shape too. They're not always in good shape. I like that peachy look. That's cool. My favorite is probably the blue and gray one that we picked up at the last store. Now, there's also a record show happening in town. So we're going to hit this one up, and this is where you get the goods. You have to bring your money because it's going to cost a lot of money. But this is where you can get some really cool stuff. So let's take a look around. I find these places a little overwhelming. I don't know about you if you've ever been to one of them. I don't like going shoulder to shoulder with people. I don't like having to wait for somebody to finish their sections. You know what I mean? I'm usually just headed straight for the G's and the P's and the C's. Come to think of it, I need another copy of Seconds Out. Look at this. Anybody have this? That's pretty cool. Nice cover. That looks like the Living Story people. The people who did the Living Story bootleg. Still need to get a copy of this. Living Years on vinyl, $8. That's a good price. Now, this was an interesting little section here. They had some great Genesis CDs. Now, my CD player's broken, but I don't own a copy of Three Sides Live on CD. Oh, and it has, yeah. This would have been cool to have. I like the extra songs on this. I've never seen this before. That looks really cool. That's pretty close to what their normal greatest hits is. This is not what you think it is. That's basically just a copy of From Genesis to Revelation. White Mountain, which is a great one. You should get that if you never get a hands on it. I need another copy of Seconds Out. Ooh, Bingo, but no Bingo. We already have that one. Spot the Pigeon. How much is that? $10. I really overpaid for my blue copy of Spot the Pigeon. We just got that on cassette. I'll show you in another video. Some Steve Hackett. See, it's nice they keep them all together, right? They know that if you're looking for Genesis stuff. Oh, and I even missed more. You see that one a lot as well. I think that's like 2 or the best of. I have a copy of this. That's a best of with a little bit of live as well from the early eras. And we got some Peter singles and some Phil stuff. I need another copy of But Seriously on vinyl. Studio 12-inch, always great to see that. Hanging Long Enough 12-inch, these are all stuff I have. A blue copy, which we just got. I'll tell you, you've been watching these videos, you know that I've been getting new things all the time. And it's making these hunts not as fun because, I've got them already. Here's a $40 copy of But Seriously, still in the cellophane, but opened. Some more Genesis stuff, semi-rare, right? There's so many of those From Genesis to Revelations. Those are like red herrings. You think there's something good, but... Now, remember I've been talking about like the UK version of Three Sides Live? I did find it at this show, but I wanted to spend my money elsewhere. Even though I've been looking for that for a long time. This guy was here last year. If you remember, I came to the show last year. And the very same booth, he's got some of the same records. A lot of really rare Genesis bootlegs, but he's charging for them, right? Like Odd Man Out, $50. As Through Emerald City, $50 from 1975. That's a really cool one. What else do we got? Another ABACAB, but we already have that one. Still looking for the yellow one. This is a cool one I wish I got this, Earl's Court. But it was $60, I should have got that, but I don't know. There is better things to come. This is a really cool one too. We saw this last year. Like, I'm not afraid of these going anywhere. You know what I mean? This isn't once in a lifetime. Some of these stuff, they turn up. I know when something is once in a lifetime. This was here last year too. It's not that great. There are these rare, semi-rare records you see, and unless they're priced for $5 or $10, I'm not going to do $40, $50, $60 on a record unless it is once in a lifetime. That's cool. You don't see this very much often as well. I wish I could have bought them all. This is a very interesting one as well. Cool artwork, but this is a really weird one. Apparently it's a, okay, so this was my choice. And this as well, which I'm going to show you at the end of this video. This is a cool record, such a cool record. But getting that hottest ticket, I'll talk to you about at the end of this video. Man on the Corner 7-inch, that's a real rare find. Really rare find. Happy about that. Okay, so here's what I got from this place. I'll show it to you at the end of the video. I'll play some samples. Man on the Corner with Submarine on the other side. The hottest ticket, I've been looking for this forever. It's actually a terrible recording, but the artwork is cool, and I'm so glad to own this. I felt like that was a win. And yeah, I'll give you a little review and show you. Okay, so we're almost done, but here's the thing. I know I've been going to this university where this guy sells used CDs, and now he sells used records. He used to even sell used VHS bootlegs, and he sets up in the student center. So I headed over there for one last look. We got to find the final ABACAB. We need to find a yellow ABACAB. So right now we're going to dig through some records. This guy often has some interesting things, and maybe we'll get lucky on cassette. There's some cool Genesis records here and there on cassette, some Peter Gabriel. Most of this stuff I already have, but this, bing, bing, there we go. There we go. We have completed the set. Wow. I don't know if it counts. Does it count for you that I found the yellow one on cassette? It counts for me. We found all 4 covers of ABACAB. Now, before I go, let's see if we can find anything else at this place. So you never know. You never know. And there's a lot of young people here. I will say, this place was packed out with young people. And I'm talking like early 20s. And they were buying hundreds of dollars worth of records. And this guy goes from university to university. So he's really spreading the word of vinyl. And I can't believe how many young people, I say young, like they're half my age. It's insane. And they're buying tons of vinyl. Here's a copy of that in Genesis in concert. Remember, we just showed you that. This is another one I decided to pick up. This is one you don't see very often, and it's cool because it has stuff from And Then There Were Three, which I also don't see very often. I see a lot of bootlegs from Duke and ABACAB, a lot of bootlegs from Wind and Trick, and a lot of bootlegs from Selling England. But after that, not much. Not much from And Then There Were Three, not much from Shapes ever, or Invisible Touch that I ever come across. My CD player is broken. So I didn't pick up any CDs. I don't have a CD player at the moment, but I did get this for $5. $5 and this, and I'm going to show you what's special about this. I love those eyes popping up. So we did it. We found all 4 copies. Plus we got some other cool stuff, which I'll show you at the end of this video. I'll play some clips. A beautiful copy of Face Value. This very cool Genesis bootleg. And this too. How cool is this? Stumbled upon that. I checked out for this guy for 3 times. I found 3 different finds at this place. Okay, so I got a lot more than I bargained for, and I found some incredible things, like incredible things. Let's start with this gift from our dear patron, Darren, who bought me this Nassau Coliseum 1981 the Long Island broadcast. So this is actually very similar to 3 Sides Live. And the 3 Sides Live era, with some major exceptions. The 3 Sides era is interesting because there's a lot of bootlegs. I have a lot of bootlegs. In fact, even this other one I picked up, which we'll talk about in a second, is very similar to this. So let's talk about that. I've just listened to 2 sides of this. Can I play something without going to jail? I don't think so, but this has Firth of Fifth on here. You probably won't be able to tell like how beefy this sounds. Incredible. So the sound on this, again, I played 2 sides, and I'm kind of like scrubbing around, just listening to a couple songs, comparing it to 3 Sides Live. I'm gonna do a proper review on this because the sound is phenomenal. Very similar. It's not the same company, but it's very similar design and everything to this Phil Collins Live at the Tower broadcast. Different label, I think. But so this is brand new. This is a brand new record, and Darren generously donated it to the channel. He's a big supporter of the channel. And so we were able to grab this from my local record store. This is a broadcast. Remember when I talked about this, there is like a law that was passed in the UK that is allowing for broadcasts to be replicated without permission and without royalties, which doesn't make sense at all. You still would have to pay publishing. So I don't know how this is working. Is it Concord that's involved? I don't know. I don't think so, because there's also tons of other artists that are being pressed right now, and it's just happening now. Like, it literally is just happening at the middle of 2023. We also don't have like any publishing or copyright info, very much like on the Phil Collins thing. It doesn't say who wrote the songs or who's the publisher on it. So I think these are very much still bootlegs. I don't think that these are, I think they're maybe skirting around laws, but I don't think they're legit. Having said that, the sound is phenomenal. The sound, I'll do a review. I think the sound is better than Three Sides Live. It is so beefy and thick. I was blown away. And I do have some interesting bootlegs from this era. By the way, I'll show you the track listing here, because there are some songs that you won't find on other bootlegs or on Three Sides Live. For example, Man on the Corner, Firth of Fifth. Although I do have a copy of Firth of Fifth from 1981 on this That's All single, but in New York, not in New Jersey. No Reply at All sounds really, really good. There are some like live versions of No Reply at All where the clap is out of time. Have you guys ever heard that? It's really annoying. But this sounds really good. Man on the Corner sounds okay. It's a little bit too close to the center of the record. And I haven't listened to anything else. I listened to ABACAB and Me and Sarah Jane, and they sound really, really good. So thank you so much, Darren. That is an incredible find. I recommend you check this out. We'll do a review. Okay, my goodness. You saw this as well too, right? Remember, this has been on my hit list for a long time. I just love the artwork. And this is a bizarre Brand X record because there's no Phil. I think he was busy at the time. This is 1978. So what was he doing? That was a busy year for Phil. So Masks is really cool. I haven't even listened to it yet, but it's the one that doesn't include Phil. Speaking of Brand X, when I was at the university, look out what else I got here. Product on cassette. So cool. I listened to it really quickly. It sounds really great. This is an absolute joy. I love cassettes. I've got a cassette collection right here. So this is my first Brand X cassette. I never thought I would find, was I holding that upside down the whole time? I never thought I would find Brand X on cassette. Let's stay on the Brand X thought right now, because you also saw at the university, I got this as well for, I think, $10. And this is Moroccan Roll. Okay, I just realized Moroccan Roll sounds like rock and roll. It's like, am I the last person to figure that out? That is funny. Moroccan Roll. I think this artwork is by Hypnosis. Yes, it is. You can tell, right? You can just tell. And I think Hypnosis was great, but I think they also, I want to watch that documentary, but I think they also did some pretty crappy stuff. This isn't that great. Neither is, there's another Brand X album I think they did, but I'm not crazy about Small Creeps Day artwork. I think that's really poor. And then there were three. So sometimes they did a good job. Well, even Shapes, right? There's rumors that they just had ideas in drawers and they just pulled them out. But anyway, I've listened to this already. It's great, really great. So I've beefed up my Brand X collection. So far I'd only owned Nuclear Burn. That was the only record I had. Unorthodox Behavior, sorry. That's the only Genesis record I did have, and now I have Masks and Moroccan Roll. Moroccan Roll! So stoked about that. I love Brand X. Let's talk about that university show, because I also grabbed a couple other things. This is surprising. This is not a big deal, but it is a big deal. I've been looking to get double copies of my Phil Collins stuff to bring up to the cottage, because I brought a turntable up to the cottage, and now I want to duplicate my collection, especially my Phil stuff. So I already had some kind of rough versions of my Genesis collection, so I've got a few Genesis up there. I had a couple of copies of No Jacket Required, no problem. I still am looking for another copy, but seriously, that's a little bit hard to find. So I wanted to grab another face value. I have the original, and then I have the 2016 remaster, and then I'd love to be getting the Atlantic Records one when that comes out. This I got for, I want to say $5. I'll have to look back in the video. I think it was $5, and it is in phenomenal condition. I mean, I know that it's just face value, but like, it's just, and I don't think you can you tell how good it looks on the video? It's just like no creases. It's just in really, really good shape. So anyway, I needed a copy. I got it for dirt cheap, and it's in incredible condition. So very thrilled about that. Also at the university was Revelatory Genesis. So this is a really cool one. Here's the track listing. Somebody included it. It was in the cellophane. It was in the record when I saw it. So this was from 1980. And what I like about it is that it is from the And Then There Were Three era. So we have Follow You, Follow Me, Deep in the Motherlode, which sounds incredible. The Lady Lies. If I'm not mistaken, it's very slow. And you can let me know if you have a copy, but it's very slow. You can hear it on, well, let's take a listen. One day I'll do like a proper review of these things and maybe include some audio in stereo, but you're just hearing it through my mono mic right now. Let's see if I can show you something. Okay, I'm gonna play Deep in the Motherlode. This would have been the same era that they used for the recent Genesis box set. So let's play Deep in the Motherlode. You tell me if it's slow. It feels really slow, like Phil is singing quite low. Which, remember, they would record on tape and then they play back to vinyl. You hear that? That's too slow. If I play too much, I play more for you. If I play too much, then YouTube will ding me, so I can't. Okay, so that is Revelatory Genesis from 1980. Why does it say 8078? Oh, there's two recordings. Okay, Nebworth Festival in 1978 and Lyceum Ballroom 1980. So that's a great one to own, and the sound's okay. The sound is pretty good, except it's slow. It's whoever played back the tape. Remember, when we talk about, let's talk about bootlegs for a second, because what is so kind of cool about bootlegs is that they were done by people who weren't fans of the band necessarily. And so they didn't really care if they got the metadata right. And so the best example is one of my prized possessions from this outing was this one, The Hottest Ticket. This is something I've been looking for a long time. I was speaking with the guy, and as you saw from the same collector, I got this Man on the Corner single with Submarine. Submarine's a beautiful instrumental track. I got this from him as well. I've been looking for this for a long time because I love the artwork. I think it's so beautiful, except for the back. The back is ugly. The sound on this, let's take a listen. But it's interesting, we go back to that record that Darren picked up for me today. The sound on this is fantastic. The thing with bootlegs is that they didn't care. They just wanted to make money. And so for that reason, they didn't care about the sound. They wouldn't know if the tape was playing back slow. They don't know what it's supposed to sound like. So there's really no quality checking or quality assurance. Furthermore, the track titles. Let's see if you notice these track titles here. And what do we see? Written in the Book, Duchess, Lamb Lies Down on Blues, The Carpet Crawler, a song called I Got Sunshine, and then my favorite is Best Are Doing It Right. Best Are Doing It Right. So this is the same era, right? This would have been, when was this recorded? I don't know. Look at that too, completely white labeled. Love this record. I paid $40 for it. I was happy to do that. Even though I do have a lot from this era. It's kind of surprising. The ABACAB Duke era seemed to be one of the most bootlegged era. Here's another one from 81. Look at the song titles here too. My favorite is Me and Sir Yak. I think the sound is bad on this, but let me just double check. So there's In the Cage. So very obviously an audience recording. That's what makes this Nassau Coliseum from Darren, this record that I got, so incredible, because the sound is incredible. I haven't even got to that In the Cage moment yet. Okay, I am making a huge mess here. I got a lot of work to do. Okay, I think this is the last record. You saw me pick this up at the record show. Boy, this ended up not being very much about ABACAB, did it? This is, I've been listening to this quite a bit, and this is phenomenal. I'm going to do a review. You have got to get a copy of this. I don't think it's on streaming services. So this is called We Know What We Like, the Music of Genesis, London Symphony Orchestra by David Palmer. Let me read you the track listing. Guide vocal, Turn It On Again. It's one piece. Madman Moon, Entangled. This features Steve Hackett, by the way. There's a medley called Los Gigos, Duke's Travels, Fountain of Salmacis, The Knife, Unquiet Slumbers, and then Los Endos again. Follow You, Follow Me, I Know What I Like. A Snowbound medley. Scenes from a Night Dream, Say It's All Right, Joe. Horizons, Can Utility, and then Undertow and Supper's Ready. This is from, I can't remember. This is from late 80s, early 90s. So this is interesting, right? This came out like towards the end of, or during the Invisible Touch tour. There's no Invisible Touch on here, and there's no Shapes, which is kind of weird. I don't know. If any of you know the story of this record, it is absolutely phenomenal. Let me play you a clip. I think I'll be safe to play you a clip because it's not on streaming services. It's in beautiful condition. Beautiful record. But just take a listen to this. Kind of sounds like Home Alone. I mean, you've got to hear Madman Moon. It's insane. Or Entangled, too. I've heard a lot of cover records and from Genesis, and I can say that this is one of the best from the Philharmonic. There's only the singing on guide vocal. Everything else, I don't think they're singing anywhere else. Okay, so thank you for coming along on this journey. Here's one I want you to tell me. First of all, did I get anything that you already have? Did you have a copy of Masks or a copy of the other Brand X records I found? Does anybody have a copy of this? We Know What We Like, this classical version. What about this one, this lovely gift from Darren? Did any of you also pick this up in the last couple of months since it's been out? I certainly recommend you do. It sounds beautiful. What about Revelatory Genesis? Anybody out there own a copy of this bootleg? Very cool. Glad to have that. Very pleased with my face value, in excellent condition. And then something I've been looking for so long is The Hottest Ticket. I was thinking I might have to order that online. But it's an audience recording. It doesn't sound good. But yeah, it's meaningful in its own way. This new Nassau recording is unreal, but this is meaningful in its own way. So let me know if you have any of these or if there's any stories about these that I may not know. If you know anything about some of these records I picked up, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button for exclusive videos, behind-the-scenes content, and to have your say on future topics before I film. Have a look at our Patreon page. Thanks for watching.